The Quran and Muhammad are nowhere mentioned. Islam is nowhere mentioned.
It's mentioned in the Torah. That's the Jews already prophesied.
No, it's not. It's nowhere in the Torah. Notice what we said. We're not going to add to the Quran. We're not going to say something that the Quran does not say. Are we in agreement with that? Have I said anything that is not literally in what the Quran says?
No, but you are like playing with the words or something.
Or something? Come on, Muhammad. In reality, if the Quran gets something factually wrong, it's not the fact's fault that the Quran is wrong. The Quran is just wrong. The Quran is not a revelation. It's not. It's a man-made book. The reason why it's not a revelation is because of the standard that it sets itself. It says, like I told you, it's supposed to be a completion of the previous scriptures. It's supposed to be in line in a fulfillment of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, it's not. When we look at the Torah and we look at the gospel, the Quran and Muhammad are nowhere mentioned. Islam is nowhere mentioned.
It's mentioned in the Torah. That's the Jews already prophesied.
No, it's not. It's nowhere in the Torah.
But we get like the narrations of a Sahabi, Salman al-Farsi. He got to know about the Prophet from a Jew, like not from a Jew, but a Christian, somewhat Christian, that a Prophet is coming in Medina, so you can meet him.
Yeah, there's nowhere in the Torah that says that. Nothing in the Torah says that at all. That's made up.
Because the Torah is corrupted. The Torah...
Not according to the Quran. The Quran doesn't say the Torah is corrupted. It says it's true.
The Torah... No, at the time of the Prophet.
Yeah, at the time of the Prophet, the Torah was still good to go, right? Well, we have the manuscripts that date not just in the time of Muhammad, but even way before that, hundreds of years before Muhammad. We have those manuscripts. We have the Torah that existed hundreds of years before Muhammad. So the Torah we have is still good, according to the Quran. And he's nowhere mentioned in the Torah.
Okay.
If you want to check that out one day, look up what the Dead Sea Scrolls are. The Dead Sea Scrolls, that's the Old Testament. That's the Torah and other writings of the prophets found even a few hundred years before Jesus. Like they date to a few hundred years before Jesus, almost 200 years before Jesus. And we have those scrolls. So you see the issue here? So the Quran says that the Torah is true. Even in Muhammad's time, it's true. It confirms it.
But
however,
it wasn't fully like the parts of divine guidance existed, but like people.
Brother, what you need to
not
do?
Fully.
Remember, notice how
we're not human editions.
Notice what we said, Muhammad. Notice what we said. We're not going to add to the Quran. We're not going to say something that the Quran does not say. Are we in agreement with that?
No, but if we look at the hadith...
That's not what I'm asking you. Are we in agreement? Just answer this real quick and you can say what you're about to say.
Yes.
Are we in agreement that we will not add to the Quran?
Yes, that's Muslim rules we follow.
It's the Muslim rule. So don't add to the Quran. Does the Quran anywhere say that only part of the Torah is revelation? That the Torah in Muhammad's time only contains part or some revelation? Does the Quran ever say that?
Have you, like, what if you look at the Arabic words?
Yeah. Does the Quran ever say that? The answer is no. It never says that. Matter of fact, let me show you. Go to chapter 2, verse 85. Surah Baqarah. Go to chapter 2. Go to verse 85. It's gonna say the opposite of what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that the Torah, part of it was good, right? We can believe in part of the Torah at that time. The Quran verse is going to say the opposite. Watch. Go ahead and read chapter 2, verse 85.
Do you believe in some of the scripture and reject the rest? Is there
That's
any
it.
reward for those who do so among you other than disgrace in this worldly life? Again, it's very hard punishment, day of judgment.
You see, it says the exact opposite of what you said, right? Do you believe in part of the scripture and reject the rest? Those who do so will be disgraced in this life, and a severe torment waits for them in the hereafter.
No, but which scripture? It just says scripture.
Yes, so meaning you can't do that with any of his scripture. The Torah is scripture, the gospel is scripture, the Quran is supposedly scripture. You cannot pick and choose what parts of the scripture you believe in. You have to believe in all of it.
No, but what if this is addressing to the people of that time when the scripture was all correct?
Good. So this would mean that in the 7th century, in Muhammad's time, the Torah was all correct, right? And my point is that we have that Torah. We have even the Torah before that. That's my point. We have the correct Torah, even by the Quran standards. The Torah we have is not after Muhammad. It's before Muhammad and during Muhammad.
Okay, so like tell the argument for what's your argument then?
So my argument is that according to the Quran, the Torah and the gospel, the previous scriptures, are fully intact, they are authoritative, and they are preserved. Okay,
how does this disprove Islam?
Excellent. So the way that this disproves Islam is because the Quran is supposed to be in line with the Torah and the gospel. Muhammad is supposed to be mentioned in the Torah and the gospel. But the Quran contradicts the Torah and the gospel. Muhammad is not mentioned in the Torah and gospel like the Quran says. So therefore, the Quran is false. One, for not being in line with the Torah and gospel, for contradicting them, and also for lying about what they say, that Muhammad's mentioned in them when he's not.
Okay, so this can be misinterpreted. Like, I am sure like there will be many like very valid explanations for this by the people of knowledge in Islam. But what if we looked at the other side? There are many scientific facts in the Quran and many prophecies done by the Prophet about the future. How would you look at that?
Brother, there is no explanation for this. There's no, and look, as you see this, and we're going through this together, and be honest with me, I'm gonna ask you again. Have I said anything that is not literally in what the Quran says?
No, but you are like playing with the words or something.
Or something? Come on, Muhammad. Muhammad, Mo, come on.
No,
Mo.
I mean, why don't okay, what if you just put this aside and look at the other things?
I can't.
I'm not like disagreeing with you on that.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure about it, okay? But like, look at the other things, the facts, the scientific facts in the Quran. What do you say about that?
Sure. So we'll put the Islamic dilemma right there. So now let's debunk something else. How else is the Quran false? Okay. So you're saying that the Quran gets some scientific facts correct, right? Is that right? Okay. And you're
Not
saying that
somehow.
okay.
If like some are like not proven yet, but that doesn't mean that they are wrong. So yes.
Wait, what?
Like some of the facts aren't proven, like they aren't scientifically proven yet, so that doesn't mean they are wrong. So all of them are correct.
Right. So the fact that the Quran got some scientific facts correct shows that it's a revelation from God, right? The one so far that we've discovered. So
science, Jesus, science,
yeah.
Yes.
So then that would mean that the reverse is true. That if the Quran got some things scientifically incorrect that we know are incorrect, right? Then that would mean that the Quran is not from God. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me show you something.
But this is impossible. So even if someone says it's scientifically incorrect, it's either their lack of knowledge, lack of research, or they're just misinterpreting the verse.
You see that? You see how you switched? It's
No,
the
I'm
Quran.
just present me the examples. Present.
I
I'm
will,
not like afraid.
but just notice how you already laid the groundwork to not accepting when the Quran gets it wrong. If the Quran is wrong, it's not really the Quran that's wrong, but that the person is just misunderstanding something, or they got their facts incorrect, or something is going on with them. They're just something is. It's not the Quran though. The Quran is right no matter what. You see how you've already.
That's our belief. Like we can't change that.
Yeah, but I know you believe that, but logically, that's not how reality works, right? In reality, if the Quran gets something factually wrong, it's not the fact's fault that the Quran is wrong. The Quran is just wrong. Okay? We're talking about objectivity here. Okay?
What if it's the lack of research? Because, for example, in the ancient times, people believed the sun revolves around the earth, and today we believe that the earth revolves around the sun. So
Right.
that's what I'm talking about.
So notice how bad this is. What if we haven't done enough research yet to where it seems like the Quran got some things right, but really it didn't. We just haven't researched enough to know that it got these things wrong. You see how it could go both ways?
Yeah, it can.
So that would mean that scientific accuracies are not a standard by which you can say, yeah, this is a revelation from God. Because if it doesn't work one way, it doesn't work the other way. If it's good enough to prove the Quran, then it's good enough to disprove it. But if you're saying that scientific accuracies don't prove if you're saying that scientific inaccuracies don't disprove the Quran, then that means scientific accuracies don't prove the Quran. It doesn't work.
No, but you are trying to like make this a little bit like present some examples.
Why?
Of scientific facts.
Will it prove the Quran wrong?
No, like for example, mountains are like pegs.
If I show
mountains
you,
hold the ground.
if I show you, I got you. If I show you a scientific inaccuracy, will that prove the Quran wrong?
Inaccuracy.
Yes. If
like
the Quran if the Quran makes a claim, and that claim is scientifically incorrect, would that mean that the Quran is false?
Yes.
All right, let's do it now.
If the scientific fact is really fully researched, there's no doubt in it.
Okay. So,
but it's impossible. Like you can't.
Let's see. What was according to science? What came first, the universe or the Earth?
Universe or what?
The universe or the Earth? The heavens or the Earth? What came first?
The universe, the Big Bang, the universe, of course.
Got it. So, and you would say it's a fact, right, that the Earth came and was made after the universe, after the heavens?
Yes, but still there can be more research done on this. Okay.
You see, that's why this is a waste of time. Because once you see that the Quran gets it wrong, maybe there can be more research.
Like show the example. Like, I'm not like it's
a waste of time. I'm not going to waste my time showing the example when it doesn't do anything.
No, you were trying to avoid it. Like trying to avoid it.
I'm trying to do what?
You were trying to avoid it.
I'm trying to get off my stage. Get off my stage. Go be a Muslim, bro. Full Muslim. Get off the stage. I'm trying to avoid it. Y'all see this religion? You see how how dumb this religion makes you?